How's it going? Welcome to Foothills Firearm Factory. Oh, hey, how's it going? I was wondering, do you guys happen to have the new Glock V? I've been looking for it all over town and nobody seems to have one. The Glock V? I don't know, man. I'm just a greeter. You'll have to go ask the guys in sales at the counter. Oh, okay. Sales department, huh? All right. Let me go ask those guys then. Hey, how's it going? Can I help you with something?
I was wondering, do you guys have the new Glock V in stock?
Yeah, I think we might have got one in last night. Let me check with the acquisitions department and see what they say. He'll be right with us. What is it? What do you need?
It needs a Glock V.
The new Glock V? Yeah, let me go check and see what I got. Yeah, I got one right here. There it is. It's the one you've been waiting for. What is going on? So we got in the new Glock V, just like everybody else on YouTube. Just got them in yesterday. I have been playing around with them a little bit. So we're going to let you see what it looks like inside and out. But, you know, it's just a Glock. It just is a Glock that's got a V on it. And besides that, nothing earth-shattering that everybody don't already know. But let's take a look at it. So if you had to guess, which one would you think that it is? Right hand, left hand. So whenever I was making the video, I tried to make sure that the V was always in my right hand and the standard Gen 5 was always in my left hand. Now, let me tell you something that has been going on here at my store. And by the way, you know, in the video, the little skit that I put up in the beginning there's a lot of truth to that. I am the owner of this store. I'm the salesperson. I'm the one who does all the ordering. I do the paperwork. I do it all. There's no employees. I do everything myself. So I know what's going on in my store. So what I am seeing, which I thought was going to happen, you know, everybody bought up the Glocks. Whenever they were announcing the V series, everybody bought them up. And I sold a bunch of Glocks. Well, I thought that eventually the shock would wear off and people would realize it's not that big of a deal. Doesn't seem to be that big of a deal. But, you know, eventually the shock would wear off. There's so many Glocks out there in the world. They're still going to be available. And that's exactly what happened. So I've already had, in 2 days, I've had 3 people trade in Glocks, you know, because they think they would get a higher trade value out of them. But I've had 3 people trade in used Glocks where, 3 weeks ago, everybody was paying over normal price for them, afraid that they were going to dry up. I've had sales reps calling me saying that they've got police trade-ins just like normal. Everything seems to be back to normal as far as Glocks go. There's so many Glocks in the world. They will probably go up in value, yeah, but, you know, there's plenty enough for everybody to have one. But anyway, as you can see here, the only difference that I can tell is there's a V on it. This is the 45V. This is the standard. Now, of course, there is some differences in the back, you know, in the slide, mostly the back of the slide, and, you know, some of the internals. But we'll go over that. I'll show you the little video that I made, and I will voice over what I have learned about these 2 Glocks and the differences in them.
All right, as you can see, I got in a couple of the Glock V's. I've actually had these for a few days. Glock sent out an email saying that they had made some content on the differences in the Glock V's, but it takes a different username and password in order to access their content. And I emailed them and told them that I needed my username and password because I've never accessed their content before, and they never got back to me, which is a standard operation procedure for Glock. But anyway, this is the 45V and the 19V. These are the first two that I chose to order in. They had more than just these two models available, but these are the two that I went with since I do have other Gen 5 Glocks in the store. So just to look at them, you can't really tell a difference except for a V on the slide and a V on the frame. But one thing that is different that you can notice if you're a Glock lover is the back plate. The back plate is different. So now we're going to compare these to a Gen 5, regular Gen 5 Glock compared to the V, and see if we can tell what the differences are. Now you can see on the back plate, get these things in the light, that the V is on the right and the Gen 5 is on the left. You can see the differences in the cutouts on the back plate on both of these units. So we're going to figure something out here momentarily that may be something for you to think about. Now, this is the V frame, of course. As you can see, it looks like a regular Glock frame. Don't see a whole lot of things that are different, but I have, from watching videos, I've seen and heard that you cannot change the trigger group. The trigger group is not interchangeable between the two models. You can't put a Glock V trigger group in a Gen 5. So why is that? Well, let's look a little closer and we shall figure that out. Now you can see the front portion of the frame is the same with your slide rails and all that. All that stuff is the same as it always has been. And if you just look at the slide on its own, you can't tell the difference between the two, between the Gen 5 and the V series. But if we compare them and put them side by side, then you'll start to notice a few little differences. Now you can use the ghost connectors and that sort of thing, but the entire trigger pack you cannot interchange. So if you'll look at the internals here, you can see from the V, which is on the right, and the Gen 5, which is on the left, you can see that the trigger pack is different, and that is to accommodate the differences in the slide. So the slide has a narrower, more narrow channel on the V than there is on the Gen 5. They made these, of course, so you couldn't put in the switches and FRTs and all that sort of thing. So of course, like I said, the back plates are different. The channel is different on the internal of the slide. So I thought, man, let's find out if we can interchange the slides and the frames like you normally can on all the Glocks. So I thought, let's try to put a Gen 5 slide on a V frame, and it will not go. You cannot put the regular Gen 5 slide on a V frame. And I thought, well, let's try it. vice versa. So we tried that. Put the V-slide on the Gen 5 frame and it wouldn't go either. So the interchangeability of these units is no more.
All right, y'all. So, did you learn anything? Look, I'm not a Glock expert. I'm probably not an expert on any kind of gun in particular, manufacturer type. I'm not a gunsmith. I just probably know a little bit more than your average Joe when it comes to firearms. I do sell quite a few to be, operating things solo. So y'all have to forgive me. I try to compile, what I watched some videos, did some learning on it. Hopefully you learned something new. I do think that it kind of stinks that you can't interchange those slides and the frames anymore on the V series. We'll see what happens. I mean, of course, there's all kinds of Turkish clones out there now that you can get. There's all kinds of, Gen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Glocks out there. So it's not the end of the world, but I do think eventually they are going to go up. I have noticed in the gun world that there's always a lag. So when things are happening here for me in real time, there's a lag with the rest of the world. So like, I'll get in a brand new gun. It'll just, I'll get it in after they'll call me and say, hey, we just got this gun in, just released today. Do you want one? I'll say, yeah. It'll show up about 3 days later. Nobody will even know what it is, or nobody will even ask me about that particular type of gun until maybe a week or two, or sometimes a month goes by. And then everybody will want it, and you can't get them because the first ones have been released and they're gone. Right now, the V series are available. I've not sold a single one of them yet. So we'll see how sales go. The police trade-ins will sell out like immediately, the same day. And they've been sending out emails for several days now trying to unload some of the police trade-ins. So I don't know if people are all glocked out. I don't know what's going on. But you will have to keep in mind, if you get a Glock that's a Gen 5 or whatever, that they'll only be interchangeable. Like say if you get a Glock 47 and the reason why you get it is because you want to put a 19 slide on it and have the option of having a 47 or a 45. You'll have to do that with the Gen 5. You won't be able to do it with a Gen 5 and a V series. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. And as always, have you asked Jesus Christ to be your Lord and personal Savior? What's holding you back? I mean, is it because you think, well, man, I see some guys that are Christians or gals or whatever. Their lives don't seem any better than mine are. What's the big deal? Well, look, they have somebody to turn to when things go bad, in times of trouble. The Bible says that life is hard and full of trouble. And, being a Christian doesn't take that away, but you have somebody that you can lean on. You have somebody you can depend on, somebody you can ask to change the course of things. Who do you have to ask like that? Who do you have like that you can ask? Can you pray to somebody? Is there somebody that that you can ask to change life as we know it, the course of your life, to help you in one way or another? I do. I have somebody like that. And the best part about it is I don't have to worry about where I'm going when I think about this. What's the worst thing that could happen? If I'm wrong and you're right, if there is no God and nothing happens, then I'm in the same boat as everybody else. What did I miss out on? I'm very happy with my life, very happy with my friends, very happy to be a part of the church and, to fellowship with my fellow brothers and sisters. But I don't doubt for a second that God is real, and I don't think you would either if you would give it a shot. So look into it. Think about it. Don't wait until it's too late. And while I have your attention, my boy Gene got nominated. Gene on G Squared Tactical got nominated for the Gundy Award. So go in and vote for his channel to win. That's my homeboy. He's a good man, good Christian dude. We're friends. We talk every day. I think the world of him. He's a good guy. Go in and vote for his channel. He's just an average Joe like I am. Be cool to see him win. But anyway, let me get back to running my mouth. But that's going to be it for me for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, keep on keeping on and have you good.